life doesn't happen to you. We all think that life happens to me, right? Life happens for you. It happens for you. I mean, opportunities will come to you every day. It's either for you, you can remain scared of the opportunities, or you can embrace them and take them. What I finally realized that, and I want to share this with you, if you give up on your dreams, what do you have left? Nothing. I can't live that way. I have to live on the edge.
You're never, ever, ever, ever going to feel like doing the things you need to do in order to have what you want. You're always going to need to push yourself. You're always going to need to parent yourself. So what is the net advice on this? What is the bottom line? The bottom line is no one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you. And because you're only ever going to do the things that you feel like doing right now or that feel good right now, unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you got to push yourself, you're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not. We're not wired that way. You weren't born that way, you weren't that way when you were growing up, and you're certainly not that way as an adult. And there's a tremendous amount of liberation that comes when you accept the fact that you're always going to need to give yourself a push.
The transition is not easy. In order for you to go from one level to the next level, in order for any woman to transition, for any man to transition, the thing that they want must be greater than the thing they currently have. You only go to another level when you're on this level and you eating out of trash cans and you say, enough is enough. When you're living in abandoned buildings in the winter and you say enough, you only transition from one level to the next when you're tired of the level you on. You keep telling me this happened in your life and that's happened in your life and it's happened to everybody. You let your pain punk you. You let your pain make you quit. You think you special? You think you the only one? We all go through it. I'm just gonna get something out of mine. So you're gonna have to go through it just like everybody else. You're gonna have to pay the fare. Sweat, blood, tears.
It's time. It's time for you to level up. It's time for you to get out of your routines and start making it a reality and do something unique and different. Struggle a little bit, hurt a little bit, sacrifice, and dedicate yourself. Because there's no other way. The time is right now to make a difference, to be better than you was yesterday. And you may not believe this, but you got to do more than less. You got to give a little bit more than less. Whether it's on your job, with your family, with the workplace, whatever it is that you're doing, in the fitness realm, your nutrition, whatever it is that's holding you back, you got to take it to the next level. You got to stop being complacent. You're always looking for the easy way out. There is no easy. How can you be successful in life if it's easy? Why do you feel that easy is the best way to get to the level you want? How do you think a champion becomes a champion? A champion doesn't get it the easy way. A champion is a champion for a reason. And I'm not saying you got to get in the ring and knock somebody out, but you definitely got to knock out those excuses. You got to knuckle up, and you got to buckle up, and you got to be about your business.
What makes Brady want to win a fifth? What makes Jordan...
At 39.
At 39. What makes Jordan say, okay, I got 4? Like, it's not even a new season. He said, we got to get the 5th one. What makes Serena get 23 and still going? Like, no, the vision board. It's, I believe, for those of us who are where we are, it's something within. You know, and you can't go buy that. You know, I can't give it to you. Lewis can't. Like, you've got to go within and find that and pull that stuff out.
What were the steps to building real confidence?
Yes, okay.
Not just the fake stuff, not just the like, oh, I've got muscles and I'm cool now. It's like, what really helped you become really confident? Because you exude real confidence.
Wow, thank you, because that is something I certainly lacked. I think anything you get really great at in life, it's out of necessity. I mean, I needed it. I was such an insecure little boy, so shy. And I would say even into early adulthood, even into when I walked into McKinley, that was a very insecure, shy, lacking self-confidence man. And so I had to build these tools. So the first thing I would say to you is clearly this thing I said earlier about just beginning to stack the pattern of keeping the promises that I make to me is a huge thing, huge thing. But I'll give you secondarily, identity is kind of like that thermostat on the wall right there. There's a thermostat. That thermostat regulates the temperature of this room. So it's pretty cold outside today, actually. It's still 73 degrees in here. The external conditions don't change the regulated temperature. Your identity, your self-worth, the values and truths you hold to be true about yourself are your personal identity. They regulate your life. They're a thermostat setting. And so regardless of what external things happen, you see, if it's really cold outside there, this room turns the heater on, heats it back up to 73. If it's super hot outside, it will cool it back down to 73 degrees. It's not the external conditions. It's the internal thermostat that governs your life. It will govern everything. That's why often in your life, you'll get life going. Maybe you've got really fit for a while or you've made a bunch of money and then all of a sudden you wake up 6 months later and you're back at that weight again you don't want and you're financially back where you were. You've turned the air conditioner back down to get life comfortable where you believe you deserve it. So this thing regulates everything. You can have everything else in your life together. If you're a 73 degree or of fitness or faith or happiness or money, you are going to get 73 degrees eventually, just like this room. How'd I alter it? I believe in the power of other human beings. So I'm a spiritual person, I'm a praying man, and I believe God uses other people to alter our thermostat. So I became, meticulous, crazy. I've told you 3 times today, intentionally, I want to spend more time with you. The reason is I believe you helped me with my thermostat in certain areas. So what I did, my recipe was keeping the promises I made to myself and adding people close to my proximity who could alter those temperature settings in the area. So I have a lot of, forget wealth, I have a lot of really happy people I surround myself with because they through association raise me to 80 and 85 and 90 degrees of happiness. If you want to increase your faith, you all have seen this. If you're around incredibly faithful spiritual people, your internal thermostat changes. Same with money. You can't be around super fit people in your proximity and not eventually become more fit through proximity. So mine has been proximity of people that raise my temperature setting.
Ralph Waldo Emerson believed that anyone who had put their heart and soul into their work and had done their very best could hold their head up high. Merely talking about it or only putting in a modicum of effort wasn't good enough in his mind. It was all or nothing. He believed that doing your best was an admirable quality and that although you might not always be successful, knowing that you had done all you could was often all that mattered. At least you could look yourself in the eye. This ethos is central to many youth movements, such as the Scouts and Guides, and is a great philosophy for life in general. Indeed, doing your absolute best in everything you do is something that we should all aspire to, and it doesn't matter if it's at school, university, work, or home. If you think about it, doing your best is also central to self-reliance, because it allows you not only to test your capabilities, but also helps you to learn and therefore extend them. It's only when you are at the edge of your ability that you can really test your mettle and see just how much you can depend on yourself. Only ever working inside your comfort zone or doing just enough to get by may be easy, but is rarely rewarding. And it never allows you to develop into a fully rounded person or realize your full potential. One thing we can take away from our time at school is the way in which we were appraised. Although achievement was important, so was effort, and it was this that measured just how much of our heart and soul we put into our studies. We may not always have got the grades we wanted, but it showed that we had tried. I, for one, always knew what mattered when my report came home. Effort. It's a shame we don't have a similar measurement system at work, as this would allow organizations to identify the true stars who put their heart and soul into their work, and who therefore want the company to succeed. The following quote from Theodore Roosevelt sums up the essence of Emerson's point. It is not the critic who counts, nor the man who points out how the strong man stumbled, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause, Who at the best knows in the end triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls, who know neither defeat or victory. When you are working on your next task, give it your full concentration and really put the effort in to produce the best possible end result. Even if it doesn't lead to glittering success, you should be proud of yourself for doing your very best. No man fails who does his best.